The sun is out. There's a slight breeze without a cloud in the sky. Perfect October weather for some football. Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting Sky Up football matchup. I'm Christopher Livingston. Alongside me is my colleague Nicolette Rojo. Coming live from Ort Myers Stadium for today's matchup between the Occidental College Tigers and the Leopards from the University of La Verne. Both teams coming off of losses last week. La Verne losing to Redlands last week 35-17. Whereas Occidental lost to Claremont Mudscripts 27-7. And as we look at the standings, Nicolette, both La Verne and Occidental sitting at the bottom third of the standings. La Verne at 1-3 in SCIAC competition, 1-5 overall, and Occidental unable to get a win thus far in the season, 0-4 in SCIAC and 0-5 overall. Who do we have to watch in this game, Nicolette?
Well, for the University of La Verne, the rushing side, we have number 23, James Gonzalez, the running back, who has 94 attempts for 563 yards, 6 yards per carry, and is second in SCIAC with 94 yards per game and third with 6 touchdowns for the year. The second part of the running back duo for La Verne is number 2, Martavius Holiday, with 59 attempts at 300 yards, 5 yards per carry, 50 yards per game, and 2 touchdowns for the season. On the receiving end, we have number 13, Arturo Herrera Caballero, at wide receiver, 11 receptions, 2 receptions per game, 101 yards and 17 yards per game with 9.2 average. We have number 5, Nathaniel Sagastumi, who was injured during practice last week but is back for today. He has 18 receptions, 4 receptions per game, 277 yards for the season with 45 yards per game, 2 touchdowns for the season. In the passing game, we have senior quarterback number 7, Josh Evans, who is 62 for 121, 765 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and is third in SCIAC with 128 yards per game. On the defensive side, in the secondary, we have number 4, Connor Johnson, the safety, with 43 tackles, 3.5 tackles per game, and 2 interceptions. And on the defensive line, we have 77, Austin Brown, the defensive end, who is first in SCIAC with 5.5 sacks for the season.
And as we look at the Occidental side of the ball, we got number 5, DJ Adams at running back. 42 attempts, 111 yards, averaging 22 yards per game with 2 touchdowns. Continuing, we got Andrew Jack de Avila at wide receiver. 12 receptions for 148 yards on the season. Continuing, we have Joshua Greaves taking the helms at quarterback. 48 completions, 91 attempts, 5 interceptions. Has not thrown a touchdown yet this season, but he is handy on the ground with 470 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. For the Occidental defense, we have number 54, Jackson Clottle at linebacker with 34 tackles and 1 sack. And we have Rafi Titizian with 31 tackles at free safety for Occidental. It is senior day here at the University of La Verne. So we got several members of the La Verne roster being honored now during pregame for this game. What are some keys to this game, Nicolette? What do you think needs to be done for La Verne to escape this matchup with a W?
Well, for the La Verne side, Chris, definitely fewer penalties, as they lead SCIAC with 62 penalties for the season. Penalties are killer to momentum, especially mental mistakes. Another key is to continue to pound the rock, as Occidental is 5th in stopping the run. They give up approximately 185 yards per game on the ground. And La Verne is 2nd in SCIAC with 256 yards per game. So they need to pound the rock and use that duo between Gonzalez and Holiday. Also, simple, but don't get too confident. Now, both, as you mentioned, Chris, both teams are in the bottom of the standings of SCIAC play. And while La Verne does sport a strong offensive game on the passing side and the running side, it's important to stay humble amidst and don't let stats or numbers, especially record-wise, fool you.
This is going to be a big match between both teams. Looking at some of La Verne's stats, they averaged 356 yards total offense, 209 on the ground, 146 in the air. And we're going to send it right now to PA announcer Bob Dyer for the recognition of the seniors for Senior Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, number 7, Josh Evans. Next up is number 17, Santiago Rocha. Santiago is an education major and cornerback from Escondido. He is accompanied by his mother, Eva, father Santiago, and other family members. After graduation, Santiago plans to enroll in graduate school and work as a student teacher. Once again, number 17, Santiago Rocha. Next up are brothers Darren Hooks and Derek Hooks. The pair are both kinesiology majors and defensive backs from Temecula. They are joined by their father Derek, mother Yumi, grandparents Jay and Gloria, sister Kulani, and brother DJ. After they graduate, Darren plans to enroll in the PA program at Laverne, and Derek plans to enter the Fire Department Academy. Let's hear for number 21, Darren Hooks, and number 23, Derek Hooks. Next up is number 22, Kyle Huddleston. Kyle is a linebacker and kinesiology major from Ontario. He is joined by his mother, Michelle, father Vino, sister Cara, grandmother Kathy, girlfriend Julixa, niece Serenity, and best friend Russell. After graduation, Kyle plans on enlisting as an officer in the Air Force. Once again, number 22, Kyle Huddleston. Next is number 29, Jonathan June. Jonathan is a running back and psychology major from La Crescenta. He is accompanied by his father James, sister Lydia, and girlfriend Taylor. After he graduates, Jonathan plans to enter law enforcement. Let's hear for number 29, Jonathan June. Our next senior is number 40, Dominic Honore. Dominic is a broadcast journalism and television major from Antigua. He is accompanied today by his father Quinn. At Laverne, he has earned Dean's List recognition. After graduation, he plans on earning his master's degree in journalism and hopes to work in sports media. Ladies and gentlemen, number 40, Dominic Honore. Our next senior is number 50, Jeff May. Jeff is a business administration major and offensive lineman from Orcutt. He is joined by his mother Dawn, father Doug, and sister Caitlin. After he graduates, Jeff hopes to continue playing football overseas. Once again, number 50, Jeff May. Next up is number 51, Giovanni Deliora. Giovanni is a psychology major and defensive tackle from Bellflower. He is joined today by his mother Jessica and father Juan. Giovanni has earned a 3.5 cumulative GPA. After graduation, he plans on attending the Los Angeles Police Academy. One more time, number 51, Giovanni Deliora. Next is number 53, Joseph Sanchez. Joseph is a kinesiology major and defensive tackle from Chino Hills. He is joined today by his mother Norma, father Jose, brother Moses, and girlfriend Brianna. After graduation, Joseph plans to enroll in graduate school and begin coaching. Once again, number 53, Joseph Sanchez. Our next senior is number 58, Tarani Thomas. Tarani is a biology major and offensive lineman from Los Angeles. He's joined by his mother Lydia, Aunt Narissa, and Uncle Rodrigo. After he graduates, he plans to attend PA school, PA standing for Physician's Assistant. Ladies and gentlemen, number 58, Tarani Thomas. Our next senior is number 60, Brandon Soto. Brandon is a defensive end and business administration major with a concentration in marketing from Garden Grove. He's accompanied by his father Oscar, mother Sharon, and other family members. After he graduates, Brandon plans on joining the fire department. Ladies and gentlemen, number 60, Brandon Soto. Next is number 71, Devin Collins. Devin is a business administration major and offensive lineman from Chino. He is joined by his mother Shannon, father Raymond, brothers Jordy, girlfriend Alexis, niece Ava, and nephew Ryan. After graduation, Devin plans to live his best life, and we wish him well. Once again, it's number 71, Devin Collins. Our next senior is number 77, Austin Brown. Austin is a kinesiology major and defensive end from San Diego. He's joined by his mother Karen, father Austin, sisters Brittany and Maya, cousin James, and Uncle Kevin. At Laverne, Austin earned first team All-SCIAC honors and twice earned second team All-Sky honors. After graduation, he plans to attend graduate school and hopes to play football overseas. Ladies and gentlemen, number 77, Austin Brown. Our final senior is number 79, Jordan Harwell. Jordan is a history major and long snapper from San Diego, and a very good long snapper, I might add. He is joined today by his grandmother Barry, grandfather Douglas, mother Erin, and Uncle Joe. At Laverne, Jordan has earned both Dean's List and academic All-SCIAC honors and served as ULV senator. After he graduates, he plans to pursue a career as a university professor. Let's hear for number 79, Jordan Harwell.
Back with Christopher Livingston and Nicolette Rojo. We just heard PA announcer Bob Dyer announcing and recognizing all the Laverne seniors on Senior Day. It's definitely a big game for these guys, Nicolette. I mean, final game of possibly your college career, possibly of your life. You know, you got to come out, you got to play as hard as you can. There's a lot on the line in this game, despite it being, you know, a regular season matchup.
Absolutely, especially as you mentioned, it is their final home game and their potentially final game of their career for most of these guys. A lot of emotions on the field and off on the sidelines, especially with playing in front of friends and family, especially some of them traveling far away, back south, etc. So it's very crucial not only to get this win on top of avoiding being the bottom, but just playing one last time in front of the home crowd.
And just the names on this roster, as far as seniors go for Laverne, Josh Evans, a starting quarterback, has been here for a few years. That's going to be a huge loss following this year. Derek Hooks, both defensive juggernauts. That's going to hurt. Jonathan June at wide receiver, Giovanni De Loera, Austin Brown, all big name players on this Laverne team. So they're going to be losing some big pieces following the end of the season.
Absolutely, and especially with their long snapper, Jordan Harwell, who's been here, has been the starting snapper since the second half of his sophomore campaign. Very important blocker as well.
And we'll take a quick pause from the action as we acknowledge the national anthem here at Ortmeyer Stadium.
Let's give a big round of applause for VFW 12034 Band of Brothers, veterans serving and supporting veterans from Laverne, San Dimas, Pomona, Glendora, and Claremont. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you for your service.
Recognize VFW Post 12034 Band of Brothers from the city of Laverne, local VFW chapter, as today is also a recognition of veterans as we get close to Veterans Day in our country. We'll be recognizing veterans during the halftime show, so a great day, recognizing a lot of special individuals.
Laverne's tight end assistant coach is today's
Absolutely,
honorary captain.
right here.
If you look at the coin toss, you have U.S. Army veteran Eddie Johnson, who's also Laverne's tight end assistant coach. He'll be serving as the honorary captain. He served from 2001 to 2009, and he will be the honorary captain for today's coin toss. So once again, as mentioned, this is a big matchup. Both teams trying to stay alive, trying to fight, trying to get that first win. Now, we talked about Laverne. What does Occidental need to do to get a victory, Nicolette?
Now, Chris, on the Occidental side, one key thing they have to do is get Josh Greaves to be mobile.
As you watch the coin toss occur. We'll wait to see who won it.
Laverne has won the toss, and they will receive on the Sydney's field.
Laverne has won the toss.
And they have elected to receive.
So we'll be seeing the Laverne offense getting first bit of action in today's matchup. It's a nice warm day here at Ortmeyer Stadium, 88 degrees. As we see fans still trying to file their way into the stands to watch today's matchup, the final home game of the 2018 campaign for the University of Laverne.
Some members of the 1993 football team are actually in attendance here as well, cheering on the Leopards. They will also be recognized at halftime as well.
It's the 1993 Laverne football team that won the first outright SCIAC championship for Laverne back in 1993, and they will be recognized a little bit later during halftime. As both teams prepare to take the field, Occidental's special teams first on the field to begin today's game. As Laverne takes the field as well. The wait is over. It is time to get this game started. Kicker Kyler Paris preparing to kick it off. Amir Bishop and James Gonzalez out deep to receive the kick.
Some deep threats right there for Laverne.
Kyler raises his hand, and here we go. Kicks it deep to the right side of the field. It's going to bounce and get picked up at about the 20-yard line, and that is where the University of Laverne will begin. As Josh Evans and the Laverne offense begin to take over for the first drive of the game.
Now look for Laverne to go with that running game, that dangerous duo between Holiday and Gonzalez.
Holiday and Gonzalez definitely a dual threat when they're out on the field. They're 1st and 10, ball on the 20. Ball's handed off to Gonzalez, who runs to the right before getting wrapped up and tackled at about the 25. So a decent gain there on that first play.
Little halfback counter right there, which is a good call by Warsaw just to get the head start on the running game. Throw off that Occidental defense right there, tire them out, just just pounding the rock immediately. Great call.
So 2nd and 5, ball on the 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 running back, 1 wide receiver to the right. Evans scanning the defense. Making his change at the line.
Making that last tackle.
Takes a snap, hands it off to Gonzalez again, who's going to get wrapped up immediately. But not after gaining a couple of yards on the play.
Laverne back with that shotgun formation, but this time a little misdirection by Gonzalez to pick up a couple of yardage, but Occidental was ready right there.
3rd and 4, big play here for the Occidental defense. Can they stop the Laverne offense? It's a signal change being made on the sidelines. Evans acknowledging it, making his change. He's gonna take the snap. There's the handoff, but nothing going on that play as Gonzalez runs into a wall of white jerseys from the Occidental defense.
Evans once again tried to scanning the defense, trying to call that audible and go with the 3rd play. Similar play as the last 2 plays, but just couldn't get the 1st down that time.
So it'll be 4th and 2, and a small victory for Occidental, being able to take off Laverne and force them to a 3-and-out on their first drive. As Diego Garcia, the punter, takes a snap, kicks it deep to just about the 40-yard line. It's going to roll in favor of Laverne, and they're going to down it at about the 27-yard line, and that's where Occidental will take over.
Special teams is pretty much a lost art in the game of football, so this is a great start on the special team side. Good punt, rolls a little bit further than the original spot on the 27, as you mentioned. So that's a great start for Laverne on the defensive side. Get Occidental pushed back a little bit.
Quarterback Josh Greaves will be taking over under center. He lines up in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. He's going to hand it off. No, he's going to keep it. He's going to run right up the middle. There's a flag on the play as Josh Greaves gets taken down after a nice run. And that's something that Laverne has struggled on, is being able to stop these bigger quarterbacks that seem to be dual threats, that seem to run the ball more than throw. They had issues last week against Redlands with the same style of quarterback.
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
There was an illegal formation on Occidental right there, so they're pushed back.
So small mental error has cost them yards to bring them back even farther. So it'll be 2nd and long, and very long, from their own 25-yard line. Want to mention that starting running back Brennan Golden is out. He is injured, and he will not be making his debut as they do a quick pass, quick little toss to the wide receiver, and he's going to get as a lot of ground, moving fast before getting taken down. That is number 5, DJ Adams, who took the shovel pass and using that speed of his, able to advance the ball, getting the 1st down and more, getting it to the Laverne 38-yard line.
Just a very great call and excellent blocking by Occidental right there, opening that hole for Adams to squeeze in and that little shovel pass and get a huge game for the Tigers.
Adams, who lined up as a wide receiver, moved in motion as he's going to take the handoff again, run right off left off tackle and gets hit hard for a short gain, and there's another flag on the play. The Laverne defense has had a number of penalties.
Preston Carr making the tackle.
Number 77 on the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
And that'll be Austin Brown, the senior member of that defensive line, who gets the flag.
As a captain and a veteran, inexcusable penalties right there, pushing Occidental to further Laverne territory right there.
Well, the Laverne defense, they're very young, they're very overly excited, as mentioned by Coach Creek a few weeks ago. trying to do what he can to eliminate the penalty issues as Greaves holds on to it and runs to the left. Nothing really going on that play. And that'll bring up second down.
Verne was ready this time for Greaves, not being fooled by that halfback option.
So that'll bring up second down with 10:55 left to go in the opening quarter of this game.
You have about 2 on the play.
As he lines up. 4 wide receivers, 2 to left, 2 to the right, 1 running back. Man in motion. That is Adams again, who dodges a tackler and able to move up the middle for a decent gain. They're doing a lot using DJ Adams, motioning him from a wide receiver position and just doing a quick pitch.
Just a motion like that as a receiver is enough to get the defensive side's attention, fooling them a little bit, thinking, okay, he's going to be a receiver. No, now he's going the running back, so it throws him off, moving the line a little bit. Linebackers opening that hole for Adams to squeeze through once again.
And it certainly throws off the coverage. We look at third down and 1, ball on the 10-yard line. It's going to be a quick move up the middle. And as we stop short of the goal line, but a first down for Occidental. Connor Johnson with the tackle. I'm just mentioning that interesting style where they're bringing in the DJ Adams in motion and pitching it to him. That throws off the secondary, the linebackers, everyone, because now they're trying to figure out, all right, how are we going to switch our zones? How are we going to switch our coverage? Who's going to get DJ Adams? As Josh Greaves lines up under center. Bringing Adams in motion again, but he's going to hold on to it and advance a few yards, inching ever closer to that end zone.
Going off of what you mentioned, Chris, about Adams motioning, Greaves being a mobile quarterback, that's also putting additional more pressure on the coverage, especially that he doesn't give it all right away. He doesn't necessarily drop back, as you noticed here. He either hands it off, tosses it, the shovel pass, or just cuts inside real quickly.
Second and goal, ball on the 2-yard line. This is a big defensive stop by Laverne. Can they do it? Greaves in the shotgun, flanked by DJ Adams. He's going to hand it off to Adams. No, Greaves going to hold on to it and walk through untouched. Touchdown, Occidental. Utilizing a read option, faking the handoff to DJ Adams, and Josh Greaves holds on to it and just used that big body of his to plow into the end zone for 6 points.
Verne's have trouble with big quarterbacks, as you mentioned earlier today. And Greaves just was able to pound it right there for 6 points.
As Kyler Paris, the kicker, gets ready for the extra point. There's the snap. There's the kick right down the middle. So a quick 3-and-out drive for Laverne results into a huge touchdown drive for Occidental. The score is 7-0 with 8:36 left to go in the opening quarter. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. As the special teams unit for Laverne sets up, as does Occidental.
Not the start you wanted if you're Laverne right there. Important possession, this drive next one. Keep them running the ball, expect them to mix up the offense a little bit more to try to throw off the Occidental defense. And it's important to ensure, especially in this heat, keep the defense off the field. Especially the Occidental likes to use that read option a lot.
Verne came out in the initial drive running a very basic run-style offense. Got stopped before even making a first down. As the kickoff sails off to the sideline, it'll be a flag. And Laverne will get some decent field position following that kick. How can they respond is the question, Nicolette.
With Laverne, as I've mentioned before, struggling, as you mentioned actually, that basic run-style offense. In order to succeed, not just in this drive, but going forward, it's important to protect, not only to protect Evans, but open the holes for the running game. Mix it up. Throw off the defense a little bit.
First and 10 as Evans is going to hold on to it, run off to the right. He's at midfield. We're getting pushed out just short of the 40-yard line, so a nice big run on the direct snap carry by the quarterback, Josh Evans.
Great call by Warsaw and great read by Evans right there with that read option, taking off, making sure, getting out of bounds for additional gain.
A nice 20-yard gain by the starting quarterback for Laverne as he lines up. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 2 to the right, 1 running back. That'll be Martavius Holiday on the left side as he's going to take the handoff. And he's going to break a tackle, run off to the 30, the 25, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown Laverne, touchdown Martavius Holiday.
Martavius Holiday from 45 yards out for the score.
Some big missed tackles on both those plays, allowing this Laverne run offense to quickly respond after giving up 7 to Occidental.
That's how you do it if you're Laverne. Excellent job. Excellent quick drive, able to open up those holes. Great vision by Holiday and Evans to tackle and end this drive with the 6, depending on the PAT.
Martavius Holiday, a 45-yard touchdown run as Diego Garcia kicks it right down the middle to bring us even at 7 each with 7:53 left to go in the first quarter. Here on SCIAC football on Laverne Community Television, LVTV3. Very quick response by Laverne. Very impressive second drive for the Leopards.
Absolutely, right there. Great response by Laverne. Noticing both teams are utilizing the run game, pounding that rock. Let's see if Laverne's defense can respond. Building off that momentum, especially on a quick drive like that and 2 big runs. Let's see if they can carry that on the defensive side for Laverne.
Look at Occidental. They average 203 yards per game, 94 yards on the ground and 108 yards in the air. Both teams, they run kind of a steady, balanced style offense that's revolved around the run, similar as Laverne, as Diego Garcia kicks it deep. And that will bounce into the end zone for a touchback, and Occidental will take over at about their own 25. So as mentioned, Laverne coming up short last week in a matchup against Redlands, 35-17. Started out as a competitive first half before Redlands took over in the second half and just completely dominated, utilizing their big body quarterback. As Josh Greaves kind of mimics that same style.
See how Laverne's defense responds, whether it's blitz or zone.
As he's going to hand it off to DJ Adams, and Adams nowhere to go, bouncing around on the outside before getting taken down for what looks like a loss. A loss of about 1, and that'll bring up 2nd and 11 for Occidental. Good pursuit by that Laverne defense.
Absolutely, Laverne's noticed a little bit of a blitz, but with 4 defensive linemen right there, and they were able to shift to the left side of the field quickly, not being fooled by that option this time.
It's Cameron Mooneyhan who was able to pursue and bring down DJ Adams. As there's a fake handoff, and Josh Greaves gets wrapped up immediately and taken down by those big-bodied members of the Laverne defensive line.
That's a great read by Laverne right there.
Kerry Sanders and Andrew Camargo in on the tackle of Josh Greaves for the loss to bring up 3rd and 12 on the 23-yard line.
That's crucial for Laverne to crash that line, especially crashing in the middle, forcing him, the running back Adams, to go outside where following the rest of the defense, knocking him down short.
3rd and long. Greaves moves a man in motion. He's going to hold on to it. He's going to pitch it outright to DJ Adams, and DJ Adams gets wrapped up and hit hard and dropped short of the first down.
4 on the play.
Brandon Aragon in on the tackle.
Laverne's secondary was ready right there. They're not taking the eye off the quarterback and the running back right there. Greaves was able to quickly shovel past that little pass, but Laverne once again was ready and forced the 3-and-out.
Nate Sagastumi making his return this week after being out last week. Awaits the punt. And there it is, high. Bouncing at about the 40-yard line. Going to continue to roll to about the 25, and that is where Occidental will down the ball, and Laverne will take over at their own 25 with 5:28 left to go in the first quarter.
As Laverne's offense is taking over in the field in the third drive. Rested. Great defense by Laverne, able to get off the field quickly. Let's see if the offense can continue this momentum as they score. Run your 2 big runs last drive. Let's see if they can keep it up here.
1st and 10, ball on the 24-yard line for Laverne. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Evans immediately passes it quickly on a screen pass to Sagastumi, and Sagastumi wrapped up trying to break free, but nothing going. Nate Sagastumi, a big member and big part of this Laverne offense. Despite his size, has a lot of great athleticism, able to jump up there, compete with the best for the ball, and he's more of like a slot receiver too. He can split up the secondary, he can split up the linebackers, he can do whatever he can. As Evans takes the snap, he's gonna hold on to it, roll to his right, looking for an open receiver, but he's gonna tuck it in and keep running. Gets to the 45, up to midfield, to the 45, to the 40. And sliding at just short of the 39-yard line. A great piece of running by Josh Evans.
Excellent read, too, as he was coming up the line of scrimmage. Thought about passing it, but didn't force it and was able to go for a run, and a great block by Sagastumi right there to extend the run by a couple more yards.
Great patience by Josh Evans to tuck the ball in rather than trying to force in a pass. As we go to 1st and 10. Evans fakes the handoff to Gonzalez, throws it to Sagastumi, but incomplete. So trying the quick screen pass again, however, threw it a little bit too ahead of Sagastumi, and he wasn't able to bring it in.
A little too excited in that play. Screen plays are pretty much an extension of run plays if they're passed accurately, but that one was just a little short in that case.
Evans drops back once again. Screen pass to Sagastumi, and Sagastumi is going to run and get thrown out of bounds just short of the 30. Gets wrapped up and thrown like a rag doll. That was by Rafi Titizian with the tackle. But there is a holding call on the play, credited to Joseph Whitmer, the left guard of the Laverne offensive line. That has been a huge story throughout the season, just the number of penalties that both sides of the ball have been obtaining.
Mental errors will stop your momentum and kill you. You got to work on that if you're Laverne.
So that turns what could have been a 3rd and short into a 3rd and long, into a 2nd and long. As there's the handoff. No, Evans is going to carry it and once again run and slide just short of the 35-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
Another great run by Evans. A little bit of a risky play to run on a 2nd and long, but it has worked for Laverne most of the year, especially this game. So just a great read and great decision to slide rather than go up and potentially lose the ball.
3rd and 9, ball on the 38-yard line. 3:10 left to go in the opening quarter of this matchup. Evans scanning the defense, 4 wide receivers. He's going to fake the handoff. Steps in the pocket, throws it off to the sideline. Overthrows his receiver, incomplete. As he was looking for Cameron Morris, his wide receiver.
Good look by Evans, just too far off for Morris to catch, and great stop by the Occidental secondary right there, and a great job pressuring him up the middle a little bit. It's right there for Occidental.
The offense and defense both remain on the field, so there's the assumption now that Laverne may try and go for it on this 4th and 9. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen. The offense looks towards the sideline, towards Coach Creek. And it looks like they will bring out the punting unit. So with 2:55 left to go in the opening quarter, we have a tie game here, 7-7.
Delay of game called, pushed him back a little bit, and it not risky. A little bit of a risk early in the game to go for a 4th and long, so hence why they brought out the punting unit, especially with Garcia, who has a great leg.
And it's a smart move. You move yourself back 5 yards, and it forces you to punt the ball not as far to try and keep it inside the red zone. As Diego Garcia kicks it, and it's going to bounce well within the 10, down at about the 6. So Coach Creek's strategy pays off on that delay of game, and Laverne's able to pin Occidental deep into their own territory with 2:43 left to go in this opening quarter.
Coach Creek out there showing trust in his special teams. Garcia is able to punt it short enough to get Occidental deep in their own territory.
As Josh Greaves and the Occidental offense retake the field. They get ready to begin. 1st and 10, ball on the 6-yard line. And a timeout. A delay of game.
Half the distance remains first down.
So that'll put Occidental back about their own 3-yard line with delay of game.
Great opportunity for Laverne to stop him right there, especially in the end zone for a potential safety.
As Greaves is going to hold on to it, run off to the right, and gets tackled down at about the 6. So just getting a little bit of positive yardage.
We have about 1 on the play.
That'll be 2nd and 9 with the ball on the 7-yard line.
And with Occidental's trust and common usage of that run game, even though they only gain a few yards, it's important. It's just enough to get them out a little bit of the end zone.
Can get wrapped up immediately by a number of green jerseys.
Seth Olson, the ball carrier.
Greaves actually tossed that a little bit behind the running back right there, which slowed his pacing a little bit and was able and allowed Laverne's secondary to catch up and wrap him up for a loss.
And that was great pursuit by the Laverne defense. We go 4th and 6. The ball on the 10-yard line. 3rd and 6. There's a quick pitch. And nothing going on that play. A quick pitch to Isaac Cordova.
Check that.
Who gets wrapped up immediately by the Laverne defense, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Ball carrier.
A little bit of a basketball style pass right there to try to keep the defense on its tails, but Laverne was ready for that one, forcing a 4th and 6.
Once again, utilizing these running backs from the wide receiver position, bringing them in motion to do a quick pitch to try and throw off the defense. As Nate Gray takes a snap, and he's going to punt a high one to Nate Sagastumi. He's going to bounce at the 40, roll to about the 45. Sagastumi's going to receive it and get taken down at midfield. Risky move by Sagastumi to pick up the ball off of that bounce. But he was able to get the ball past midfield and into Occidental territory to begin this drive.
Good thing he was able to shovel that up and hold on to the ball, because if he would have touched that and he didn't hold on to it, that would have been disaster. That would have been disastrous for Laverne, meaning Occidental had the opportunity to recover that.
With 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter, Martavius Holiday is going to take it and get wrapped up for a short gain. So it'll be second down in this tie game, as Laverne will likely let the clock run down to end this first quarter.
A little bit of a wildcat option right there. Nice little juke by Gonzalez. Pick up something better than nothing.
And they will let the clock run out. So at the end of the first quarter, the score is tied with the University of Laverne and Occidental, both tied at 7. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Ortmeyer Stadium. Christopher Livingston alongside Nicolette Rojo in this 7-7 tied matchup between Laverne and Occidental, as Laverne continues with their drive. 120 total yards offensively for Laverne in that first quarter. So it seems pretty one-sided despite the score. So it'll be 2nd and 9, ball on the 47-yard line as Josh Evans in the shotgun fakes the handoff to Gonzalez, and he's going to pass it quickly to the right side for a quick couple of yards. That was Amir Bishop with the reception.
Laverne back with that screenplay once again. They like to go with the strong run game with another screenplay in between to quickly throw off the defense potentially. But
as Evans this time is going to hold on to it, and he's going to get wrapped up and throw it away. Quick thinking from Josh Evans as he was put under pressure right there by Occidental. Under plenty of pursuit by Les Chaddick.
in moments like that, especially as a quarterback, it's very important to have a quick thinking, as you've mentioned, with potentially two guys coming at you full speed, no one open. He had to get rid of that, and he was smart enough to do it in an area to avoid intentional grounding.
Diego Garcia fields the punt. He's going to punt it, and it's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback. And Occidental will take over at their own 25-yard line. As Occidental's offense will come out to try and respond and try and retake the lead that they initially had after their first drive of the game. They have only put up 70 total yards since the beginning of the game.
That just shows the success of Laverne's defense. Stop being patient and disciplined, stopping the run game for Occidental. Well, let's see if Occidental can bounce back, especially with run options between Greaves and Adams in that run game.
Monday, November 12th.
Line up 1st and 10, ball on the 20-yard line. Man in motion. Greaves holds on to it and gets taken down.
Jake Williamson, ball carrier.
Correction, that was Jake Williamson at quarterback. Occidental playing two quarterbacks that both wear the number 16.
Occidental going with a 2-quarterback system this early, trying to throw off Laverne. Also, some relaxation time for the starter.
Williamson still at shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to DJ Adams, and nothing really going on that play. The Laverne defensive front has been very, very aggressive in this first half.
Coach Stewart's making great calls and execution by the line right there, pushing, executing, just crashing that middle to continue to force the run game to go on the opposite side, left or right side, getting ready for linebackers to pressure him.
3rd and 4, ball on the 26-yard line with 12:55 left to go in the first half, and there is a flag on the play, looking like a false start.
Number 8, offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That'll be on number 8, Jack De Avila, the freshman wide receiver, who was mentioned as one of our players to watch for Occidental earlier.
Occidental try to throw off Laverne a little bit with the quick calling, a little bit of a no huddle, but a little too excited right there.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 9.
He's got a whistle.
And Occidental's going to take a timeout this time rather than take a delay of game penalty. So with 12:22 left to go in the first half, the score is tied at 7. You're watching LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. A nice, warm afternoon here in Laverne.
Got the Laverne band playing out in this final home game. As Laverne's defense is huddling on the right side of the field right here.
It has been, for the most part, a one-dimensional game. Both teams utilizing their running schemes heavily throughout the first half of this game. Rarely have we seen any passes, and the passes we have seen have been short screen passes.
See if Occidental continues to utilize that run game, or even throw them off with a pass right here.
Williamson's going to pitch it to his running back on the inside. DJ Adams going to get wrapped up at about the 32-yard line.
DJ Adams, ball carrier.
So a decent carry right there for Occidental following the timeout.
Andrew Camargo making the tackle.
As Laverne's Andrew Camargo was able to go in and tackle DJ Adams and prevent him from getting any further yard.
Great execution by Occidental right there, and a better tackle by Camargo to stop him right there. Still 4th and 2 as they're going to go for it.
And the referees actually switched the sign to a 1st down. But the Laverne defense pushes Occidental and drops them back for a loss of yardage.
Thanksgiving came a month earlier as the defensive line stuffed Occidental's run game on that play.
Those big guys up front have been hungry all game so far. It caused a lot of issues for this Occidental offense. Lineup 2nd and 12, ball on the 31-yard line. DJ Adams in motion, takes the handoff, he's gonna run far off to the right, to the sideline, and gets tackled for a very short gain. The Laverne defensive pursuit has been relentless, and it's been hard for Occidental to overcome.
As you mentioned, the defense, you can see right here, they're hungry for that pursuit. And also, communication is a very important aspect in any sport, but especially in football and plays like the run option or the read option. It's very important to ensure that everyone's on the same page and able to stop whoever gets the ball, in this case, the running back motion as a receiver.
3rd and 7. as there's a fumble, and it is picked up by Laverne, but the referees are saying it is
Incomplete pass.
an incomplete pass. So a big break for Occidental, but a huge defensive stop by the University of Laverne. Avoiding a major error right there.
Occidental just couldn't execute that little shovel play. As you take a look at the replay right here, shovel pass, but drops it. Running back drops it right here.
And because his arm went forward, that is designated as a pass, and that will be considered an incompletion.
No tuck fumble in this case.
As there's the punt high and deep, bouncing at about the 28. And it is down at about the 27-yard line, and that's where Laverne will continue. With 10:16 left to go in the first half.
Another good stop by Laverne's defense right there, getting the explosive running game on Occidental's side off the field, carrying that momentum for Laverne's offense to shine right here.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the University of Laverne. The ball on the 28-yard line. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Evans is going to fake the handoff to Holiday, and he's going to hold on to it and get taken down at about the 35-yard line after running up the middle. So that'll be about a gain of 7 on the play.
Injury timeout. Injury timeout on the field.
And there is an injury on the field. A member of the Occidental defense, and that hurts them, Nicolette, because this is a small team to begin with, a small roster.
Absolutely, and Occidental in previous years, they've had a great team, strong reports, bigger teams, but within these last few years, the roster size has diminished a little bit slowly, not only on top of injuries, as you've mentioned, but also the enforcement of academics on their campus. So it's very crucial. Injuries are bad or detrimental to any team in general, but as you've mentioned, they're already tiny, little tiny squad here, so if he cannot come back to the field, it's a crucial loss for Occidental.
Laverne and Occidental did not play each other last year, as Occidental had to forfeit the second half of the season due to the amount of injuries and just the amount of players they had on the team in general. As you mentioned, the demanding academics at Occidental, it's hard for an athlete to be able to not only maintain a high GPA at that school, but to be able to double that with athletics is quite difficult. As Evans is going to hand it off to Martavius Holiday, and Holiday is going to run up the middle, get to midfield, and pushed into Occidental territory for a first down for Laverne. Martavius Holiday, who has been a huge factor on the running game every time he's been utilized this season.
Great way to execute that injury, and as they're going with a no huddle right here to tire out the defense a little more and push the ball downfield.
4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right, as Evans fakes the handoff to Holiday, and he's going to dodge a man and get wrapped up and brought down just short of the 45-yard line. Another read option play there. Saw the defensive end sneak in and cheat in on Holiday, allowing Evans to hold on to the ball and carry it to the outside.
And that's just great reading, great IQ by Evans to recognize that pressure and that sneak right there.
The key to any read option is watching what the defensive line does, who they're going to look at. As Evans hands it off to Holiday, and Holiday gets a very short gain on that play.
And read options get a little tricky, especially when the defensive players sometimes may stand there and halt. Some may commit to the running back or the quarterback, some don't. So that's on the quarterback to make a quick decision, ensuring that there's no incompletion or potentially a turnover as well.
3rd and 4, ball on the 43-yard line. As there's the handoff. And he's going to run off to the right side. James Gonzalez, a huge run, getting short of the 10-yard line. A big run.
But there's a penalty on the flag, on the field, excuse me.
And it looks like it may be on Laverne.
From the previous spot, third down.
And that is on Billy Froman, the starting right tackle for Laverne. So another big, costly penalty
47-yard line.
by the Laverne offense.
That's the story, as you mentioned earlier, for Laverne all season. Penalties, penalties, penalties.
Make it to 48.
And penalties like that, holding calls, really hurt the momentum of your offense. As Evans takes a snap, he's going to roll to his right and throws it to Nate Sagastumi, who gets caught, who catches it and gets rattled from behind. Just short of the first down, but a great play and a great pass play by Josh Evans.
Great rollout by Evans and a great route running by Sagastumi. That little slant route, slow edge route right there to separate itself from the cornerback and seal the first down.
It's the beauty of having such an effective run game is when you're able to use the play action just as effectively. As Evans takes a snap, looks immediately to his right and passes it to his wide receiver, who gets taken down at the 30-yard line. That looked like Arturo Herrera Caballero with the reception, his first action of the day.
Verne's going with a little more passing play this time as they utilize the run game to try to mix it up the offense, and that helps if your running game is solid.
As Evans fakes the handoff to Gonzalez, throws it immediately to Mir Bishop, and Bishop rolling to the right. Gets pulled down at the sideline for a decent gain. And Laverne's getting the ball moving. With 6:45 left to go in the first half, it'll be a 1st and 10 at the 16 for Laverne.
Great play calling by Laverne right there. Quick screen plays and quick passing plays to keep that ball rolling and throw off the defense.
Evans takes the ball. He's going to hand it off to Gonzalez. Gonzalez runs to the right and gets wrapped up immediately for a short gain.
Helmet off number 67 must leave the game for one play.
That is Joseph Whitmer, who lost his helmet and has to run off to the sidelines for a quick play. Bring up 2nd and 7, ball on the 13-yard line. 6:06 left to go in the first half. Laverne lines up with 3 wide receivers. Evans going to hand off to Gonzalez, who runs right up the middle and gets hit hard. And it looks like there's a fumble. Recovered by Occidental, and a costly mistake by James Gonzalez.
Occidental's defense clogged up that middle right there, but Gonzalez didn't protect the ball well enough, and a very crucial turnover, especially in red zone territory right there.
As I mentioned, when Gonzalez had the ball, ran up the middle, got hit hard, and unable to hold on to the ball throughout. And it was recovered by Occidental.
Excellent stop by Occidental, giving that momentum for the offensive side to take over.
And great awareness by Harrison Wakefield, the junior linebacker, to see the ball popped out and to recover it. And this time, Josh Greaves hands it off, but nothing going. DJ Adams had nowhere going on that play. So what has been a very, it seemed like offensively it's been a very one-sided matchup. Laverne has been dominating time of possession. They've been dominating against Occidental's defense, but costly mistakes have kept Occidental alive in this game. As Josh Greaves hands it off to DJ Adams. No, he's going to throw it to his receiver off to the right, who's going to get wrapped up and dragged down. That is Isaac Cordova who made the reception. And that'll bring up a 3rd down for Occidental, a 3rd and 4 with 4:57 left to go in the first half.
Now Occidental's going with the play action plays, passing attempts right there, throwing off Laverne's defense just a little bit enough to get a good game to make it 3rd and short instead of 3rd and long.
97 total yards offensively for Occidental in this first half. Can they break into triple digits? As Greaves rolls off to his right, he's going to throw it to his receiver, who breaks a tackle and is going to keep going to the 40-yard line. A big play for Occidental. And that was Jack De Avila, the freshman wide receiver, with the big play.
That's just great route running by De Avila right there. To take it the replay. He was able to cut back in, runs his route, cut back in for a big game up the middle for Occidental.
So 1st and 10 for Occidental, ball on the 40-yard line. DJ Adams in motion. Greaves gonna hold on to it and get stopped immediately at the line. It has not been easy for this Occidental offense to run up the middle of that Laverne defensive front, as Austin Brown and company have been waiting.
Laverne's big boys right there, plugging up the middle, doing a good job clogging those lanes and pressuring the running game and the offensive line right there.
2nd and 8, ball on the 42-yard line. 3:07 left to go in this first half. Greaves takes a snap, looking immediately to his right. Incomplete. Intended for James Howe. Howe received a lot of pressure as the pass was broken up by cornerback Jordan Peavy.
Great pressure is very important in the game of football because that gives, not only does that help the defense pressure the quarterback, obviously, but it gives the quarterback less time to pass to his options, making him quickly think right on the mark right there. And this time, Peavy was right there to stop the completion, right, to make it 3rd and long.
3rd and 8, ball on the 42-yard line. 2:59 left to go in the first half. 3 wide receivers, man in motion. A quick dump off to DJ Adams, and DJ Adams gonna get past midfield. And that'll be enough to move the chains for a first down. And what it looked like on that play, Nicolette, is they snapped it to Greaves, and Greaves just batted the ball literally with his hands into the hands of DJ Adams. And Adams, great reaction, great hands to get that ball and able to advance for a first down.
And you can tell based on plays like that, they've been working on that in practice all the time because that's not something you normally see in football.
Lined up with 2 running backs flanking each side of Greaves, as Greaves holds on to it and gets taken down immediately for a sack. That was a great effort by number 90, Kerry Sanders, of that Laverne defensive front.
Great patience and eye right there. As Greaves right there backed up a little bit, but he didn't see, but great pursuit right there just to get that sack and take him
Sanders,
longer.
not being fooled by the fake handoff, continued to pursue Greaves and bring him down.
Great eye by Sanders.
2nd and 16, ball on the 46-yard line. Greaves in the shotgun. Takes a snap, steps up, and he's going to throw it deep to the right, and it is broken up. Great job by the Laverne secondary, as the pass was intended for Jack De Avila.
Great coverage right there as when you're on the receiver, it's important to not only watch your man, but also turn your head around to see the ball where it's coming from, because oftentimes cornerbacks and safeties don't turn their heads, which results in a catch or a missed opportunity for an interception or incompleted pass, but that's a great deflection right there and great awareness.
Great aggressiveness by Raymond Morones, the cornerback, to break up the pass as Josh Greaves fakes the pass, and he's going to throw it away. Had nothing but pressure, saw nothing but green jerseys in front of him as Kevin Cabrera brought the pressure. And that'll bring up a 4th down for Occidental on what seemed like a very promising drive.
Laverne going with the blitz right there, putting pressure on Greaves right there, forcing him to throw out of bounds right there. And because his receivers and there were men in the area, there was no intentional grounding for that play.
A minute 21 left to go in this first half. There's a snap, and there's the punt to Nate Sagastumi, who's going to call fair catch at about the 22-yard line, and that's where the Laverne offense will take over. In this tie game, 7-7, a minute 12 left to go. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Senior Day and Veterans Day here at the University of Laverne.
Laverne rocking the American flag decals on the LV and the helmets.
Evans takes a snap, goes immediately to his right, caught by his receiver, who gets wrapped up and dropped immediately. That was Grayson Klein making Evan his first action in the game. Klein had a big game last week, making his return after being injured. Interesting to see that that this is his first grab of the game.
Yeah, as you mentioned, he's normally gets looks earlier during the game, but great coverage by the secondary right there and great awareness and pursuit to stop him. Only a quick game.
That was a 2-yard completion, so that'll bring up 2nd and 8 with the ball on the 24-yard line. Laverne taking their first timeout of the half with 2 remaining. Wind starting to pick up a little bit here at Ortmeyer Stadium. Probably a relief to not only the players on the field, but the fans in the stands who have been battling this sun.
Especially for the players when they're playing on turf, so it makes it feel at least in the 90s.
So here we go, 2nd and 8. Josh Evans takes a snap, rolls to his left, throws it to his receiver immediately. Who's gonna beat the first man to get pushed out of bounds? That is Nate Sagastumi with his 3rd reception of the game. Sagastumi, who is very dangerous once he does get the ball in his hands. Very agile, can dodge tacklers as you witnessed there, but he was forced out of bounds.
Don't let his height fool you as well. Hard over heights, and his quickness is definitely key for Laverne.
Evans takes a snap, throws it right up the middle, caught by his receiver, by Grayson Klein, and Klein breaks a tackle and moves up past the 40-yard line. Well into Occidental territory at this point, with 45 seconds left to go in the first half.
Great read right there as Laverne's pushing, and they call a timeout. Occidental calls a timeout.
Interesting that Occidental would be the ones to take a timeout here instead of Laverne. Probably trying to give their players a rest. As mentioned before, Occidental does come into this game with a much smaller roster compared to Laverne. Laverne able to bring in anyone that they want in to replace their players, whereas Occidental probably needs to take a little bit more measures to ensure that their players are well rested to make it throughout the rest of the game.
That's why Laverne's doing a good job, not only rotating their receivers and their players in, but taking advantage of the shorthanded Occidental team as they keep pressuring, mixing up the game, pushing the ball downfield to tire them out, forcing them to call a timeout.
237 total yards for the Laverne offense, 158 on the ground for Laverne, only 14 yards in the air. As Evans, he's going to throw it up, dangerously thrown pass, and it's going to go out of bounds after being wrapped up. facing pressure from that Occidental defense.
The jump to the play was an incomplete pass. Second down.
Martinez. Freshman.
As you mentioned, very dangerous pass right there. If you're going down on the ground, sometimes in cases like that, it's best to just take the sack. Luckily, no one was able to get that.
Evans is going to roll to his right, looking for an open man. He's going to throw it near the sidelines. It is incomplete. Intended for Amir Bishop.
Pass was incomplete.
Could not find that opening
Amir Bishop.
in the defense to find an open man. Forced it into Amir Bishop. Unfortunately, Bishop was not able to stay in bounds.
Okay, 3rd and 10.
So it'll be a 3rd and 10 with 22 seconds left to go in the first half. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Evans takes pressure, takes a shot as he overthrows Nate Sagastumi. But what a shot that Josh Evans just took, getting that ball off in time.
Absolutely, he just got crushed.
That was Harrison Wakefield, the junior linebacker.
Pass interference, number 2, defense. Penalty is 15 yards, automatic first down.
And Rafi Titizian with the pass interference call. It was Harrison Wakefield
Automatic first down.
who came in untouched to say hello to Josh Evans and giving him quite a hit as Evans let that ball go. But a huge penalty for Laverne as Evans takes a snap, plenty of time. He's going to roll to his left, throws it opposite side, incomplete. Intended for Nate Sagastumi, another dangerous throw, throwing in the double coverage by Josh Evans.
I like the aggressiveness by Evans, but at the same time, he needs to be a little more careful, not forcing that with multiple defenders around his receivers.
It is one of the hardest things for a quarterback when you roll one way and throw in the opposite direction. As Evans is rolling to his left, throwing it to his right into double coverage. Evans takes a snap, looking to his right, throws it, no one there, incomplete.
Little miscommunication right there.
That was intended for Grayson Klein. Some miscommunication there as Klein kept running his route, probably assuming that Josh Evans is going to throw it to him, lead him. We're trying to see what's going on.
To 1 second. Please set the game clock to 1 second.
So Occidental thought that it was halftime already. They were starting to make their way towards the locker room before the referees just announced to put 1 second left on the game clock in the half. So Diego Garcia will attempt a long field goal. This will be about a 40-yarder. There's a snap, there's the kick, and it is good. A deep kick by Diego Garcia. And that'll put Laverne up at half. A very impressive 42-yard field goal by Diego Garcia.
Great snap, great hold, and great execution, and nice, perfect kick right down the middle for Garcia right there.
So with that kick, we go to halftime. With the end of the second quarter, the end of the first half, the score is Laverne 10, Occidental 7. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Okay. All right. So as halftime is halftime here at Laverne with the Leopards up 10-7 over the Tigers. Okay. And both teams being pretty one-sided with the run game. As we look at Laverne's side of the first half, 237 total yards, 158 rushing yards on 14 rushing attempts with approximately 11 yards per rush and the one touchdown. On the Occidental side, they have 129 yards total yards, only 29 rushing yards, 17 attempts, and 2 yards per rush, also touchdown. For the passing side,
Gentlemen, at this time, we'd like to
Laverne has
direct your
have
attention to
9 first downs total, 6 for Occidental,
members.
4 rushing first downs compared to 1 for Occidental. Each team has 4 passing first downs, but with a even play of 29-28 total plays. Laverne did average 8 yards per play compared to the Tigers of 4.6. As we look at some of the key performances right here for Laverne.
Conference play. The Leopards outscored their SCIAC opponents
Laverne's doing,
185-70 that season. They were led by running back.
let's send it to Bob Dyer.
1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. And quarterback Ryan Campazano passed for over 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns, and also rushed for 5 more scores. Laverne was coached that season by legendary coach Rex Higgins. In just 4 years as Laverne's head football coach, Rex had an overall record of 30 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie for a winning percentage of .824. Rex led Laverne to 2 SCIAC championships and the Leopards' first appearance in the NCAA playoffs during his time at the helm. We'd like to invite any other Laverne football alumni in the crowd today to please stand and be recognized. Let's give the team from 1993 a big hand, and any other players that are in the stands. Thank you, members of the 1993 football team. They weren't a 6-man team, by the way. All football alumni in attendance, and Coach Higgins for your dedication to Laverne. Once a Leo, always a Leo. Please keep your attention at midfield, where Army veteran and coordinator of the Office of Veteran Student Success, Diana Towles, who will recognize our veterans of the game.
Good afternoon. I'm Diana Towles, an Army veteran and the coordinator for the new University of Laverne Center for Veteran Student Success. The mission of the center is to enhance the veteran students' academic and co-curricular experiences by providing access to programs, services, events, and policies designed to assist each student with the transition from military to civilian life while successfully achieving his or her educational goals. It is with great pleasure, gratitude, and respect that I introduce our University Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Jonathan Reed. He is a great supporter of our veteran students.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the University of Laverne's Playing for Heroes football, honoring those who have served and recognizing those who support Laverne's currently more than 700 students who are active duty service members, veterans, or military-connected students across 11 campuses, which includes Ventura Naval Station and Vandenberg Air Force. Designated a military-friendly school for the 9th consecutive year, Laverne is committed to the success of each of its students. Today, we recognize 2 veterans from the university community, alumnus Orlando Jackson and student Christopher Livingston. Orlando Jackson joined the Army in 1988 as an 11 Bravo light weapons infantryman. Orlando was deployed to Bosnia in 1996 and again in 1997 with the 51st Infantry, not long after he deployed to Afghanistan with the 82nd Airborne Division and then to Iraq with the 1st Armored Division. At the time of his retirement in 2009, Orlando had served honorably for 21 years, during which he earned a Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Meritorious Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, Combat Infantry Badge, Combat Action Badge, Expert Infantry Badge, and U.S. Army Parachutist Badge, as well as numerous additional recognitions. In 2013, Orlando graduated from the University of La Verne with a Bachelor of Science in Legal Studies. He is a proud and active CAPTA alumni and continues to serve as an advisor to both the Black Student Union and the Veterans Club, while also serving La Verne's VFW liaison to the University Center for Veteran Student Success. Please join me in thanking Orlando Jackson with a round of applause. Christopher Livingston is a Marine Corps veteran and current La Verne student, earning his undergraduate degree in broadcast journalism. He is the sports director for Leo FM, announces the play-by-play for both Leo FM and LVTV, and recently secured a summer internship with Fox Sport Radio. Christopher served in the Marine Corps from 2008 to 2017, attaining the rank of sergeant. While stationed with the 1st Combat Engineer Battalion at Camp Pendleton, he deployed with a Marine Expeditionary Unit and traveled the world aboard the USS Peleliu. In 2011 and 2012, Christopher deployed to Afghanistan, participating in combat and demilitarizing operations and earning his Combat Action Ribbon. Following his deployment, Christopher was stationed in Colorado, choosing to attend the University of La Verne at the completion of his active duty service. Orlando Jackson and Christopher Livingston, for the University of La Verne community, thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice and for your service to our country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Provost Reed. And thank you, too, to the football team, coaches, staff, and students for supporting veterans. We love your red, white, and blue La Verne helmet logos. At this time, veterans, active duty, and reserve that are here in the stands today, as I call out your branch of service, would you please stand? Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard. Thank you so much. Also, if you're in the National Guard, we'd like you to also please stand. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, would all family members and those who support veterans and active duty service members please also stand. Thank you to each of you for your service and also for all you do to support our military-connected communities. Thank you so much.
As we look at key performances
Thank you,
today.
Orlando and Christopher.
In just a few moments, we'll have
As we look at today's performers, we got Josh Evans, 8 for 15 with 79 yards in the air, and 78 yards and 5 carries on the ground as well. So nice little dual threat by Evans. You're watching Sky Football on LVTV3, La Verne Community Television.
Model couldn't dream that I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly, just to come back in a new disguise and be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
Let's see those pearly whites, man. Yeah. Boys, check it.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's the name? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
La palabra cáncer, cuando la dicen para tu hijo, es algo muy fuerte. St. Jude nos ha proveído todo el tratamiento donde vivir. El que St. Jude no cobra ni un centavo para nosotros significa quitarnos todo ese estrés, esa preocupación y podernos enfocar en nuestra hija.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Here at the University of Laverne. We get ready to begin the second half of today's match between the Leopards from the University of Laverne and the Tigers from Occidental College. This is Christopher Livingston alongside Nicolette Rojo with a score of 10-7 with Laverne in the lead. Look at the total yards. Laverne, Nicolette, is 237 total yards compared to Occidental's 129. So despite the scoreboard, it's been very one-sided as far as Laverne.
Absolutely. Okay, and absolutely right there, as they have 79 passing yards in the air and 158 on the ground for Laverne. So compared to 29 on the ground for Occidental and 100 passing yards. So flip the sides a little bit, but this game is still pretty close, hence penalties.
One of the things that can be said about Laverne that has hurt them from really running away with this game has been penalties, giving up big yardage penalties on offense and defense to kill their drives offensively and to keep the Occidental offensive drives alive.
And that was one of the keys to success to win this game for Laverne, was to limit the penalties. So far they haven't done that job just yet, but we'll see if they could overcome that in the second half and work on that.
Look at Josh Evans, his stats, 8 of 15, 79 yards, no touchdowns. It's been the running game, however, for Laverne that has really taken off, with Evans with 78 yards. As we take you back to the action with a deep kick by Diego Garcia. He's gonna run, dodge tacklers, taken out, but the ball is out, popped out and regained by Occidental. A huge hit. by that Laverne special teams. Some extracurricular activities going on out there, and there is a flag on the play, and that looks like it may hurt Laverne.
Looks like a little extra shoving after the play has ended.
As one Laverne Leopard was trying to escape the pile, it looked like he lifted up in the leg of an Occidental player, knocking him down, forcing the referees to throw the flag.
Laverne, after the play. Be a 15-yard penalty, first down, Occidental.
So a penalty on the Laverne defense, on the Laverne special teams. That'll cost them, as that gives Occidental better field position to begin the second half.
Not the best start right here for Laverne, but let's see if the defense can overcome that and stop Occidental this opening drive for them.
That was Kevin Stark, the Laverne tight end, who is credited with the unsportsmanlike conduct. So it'll be 1st and 10 with the ball on the 39-yard line for Occidental. The referees blow the whistle and we can commence with the action. As there's the snap, fake handoff. He's gonna carry it and get dropped immediately. That was Williamson at quarterback. Tackled up by Preston Carr.
Laverne overloaded a little bit on the right side right there. Right there, assuming that Occidental was gonna go on the left, and they were right. Williamson took it to himself on the left side, trying to go for that little shovel pass, couldn't find anything, gets dropped for a loss.
Here we go, 2nd and 12, ball on the 37-yard line. Williamson at quarterback, flanked by 2 running backs. Takes a snap. He's gonna hand it off to DJ Adams, and Adams gonna push himself to the right sideline. Gets to the 45-yard line. Still short of a first down, but a decent gain on that play.
Even though Adams didn't pick up the first down right there, it's still a good run right there to get them closer to first down, potential first down converted, compared to a 3rd and long, 3rd a little bit short.
It was safety Andrew Camargo who was able to pursue DJ Adams and knock him out of bounds to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Once a running back turns that corner, there's no looking back, so great job right there.
3 wide receivers. Quick dump off to DJ Adams, who gets past midfield, gets the first down and a little bit more. Once again, using that just quick, like, I have never really seen a quarterback do what Williamson and Greaves have been doing as far as giving the ball to their running back.
I wonder if they played basketball before, because usually, or volleyball, because usually with fingers like that, working out those fingers, potentially just quick passes, even like volleyball-like sets. Very interesting method they're using here.
So 1st and 10, ball on the Laverne 47-yard line. Williamson at shotgun, hands it off. No, he's gonna keep it, run up the middle, and taken down for a short gain. Bring him to about the 46-yard line, so it'll be about a gain of a yard, and bring up 2nd and 9. With 12:35 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Occidental sure knows how to hide that ball well.
Utilizing a lot of read option, a lot of fake handoffs to try and exhaust and throw off the Laverne defense. See, this time Williamson will line up under center this time. Takes a snap, hands it off immediately. No, he's going to toss it out to the right, to the outside. Running back runs, spins off of a tackler to the excitement of his teammates on the sideline.
40-38, 1st and 10.
An impressive run for Occidental.
It's a nice spin move right there. And even little moves like that will get your team to hype up on the sidelines, get the momentum shifting going, potentially, hopefully, converting this first down if you're Occidental.
Just that spin move here at the sideline really got the Occidental sideline pumped up. It's almost. Looks like Occidental calls a timeout after thinking that they drew an encroachment penalty on Laverne. Instead, decided to take the timeout. By the way, that was Seth Holston, number 21, who had that previous carry and the nice spin move to get Occidental within a 3rd and 1.
That is why in football, footwork is key. It's key just to not only separate the defenders and also the fancy moves, but just to separate themselves from the defense and get more yardage. Any way to make the defense pay is a plus for the offense and ball carrier.
Both of these teams coming in following horrible losses in their previous matchups. Laverne trying to add another win to their win total. Occidental trying to get their first regular season win of the season. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Ball on the 38-yard line. Williamson, quick pass to DJ Adams, and DJ Adams gets the first down and more, getting taken down at about the 32-yard line. Once again, that quick little bat pass. Looking like a game of hot potato out there for this Occidental offense.
I mean, it is warm out here too, so maybe that helps. That helps in a way, but going back to that method again, it's interesting, but if it's not broken, why fix it?
1st and 10, ball on the 33-yard line for Occidental. This time Josh Greaves at quarterback. He's going to hand it off immediately to his running back, who's going to get past the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Hit hard as he came across the line of scrimmage, met with a lot of resistance.
That's just great strength, especially lower body strength right there to overcome hard tackles at full speed with big bodies like that. That just takes a lot of strength and resilience right there.
That was Gabriel Ramos, number 32, with the carry. 2nd and 6. Greaves moves DJ Adams in motion. He's going to step into the pocket, throw it high to Holston, but overthrew him for an incompletion. Utilizing a play action there. Greaves found his man open, but just over the top of his head for an incomplete.
It was a great call at Occidental right there. Just couldn't convert that play. Little too high and out of reach.
The beautiful thing about the running game is when you're able to open up the pass game. It really makes your defense work, because now you have to guess. Do you cheat in? Do you got to cheat out for the pass? As Greaves is going to get met by that defensive line of Laverne and is sacked. And Greaves slow to get up.
He took a shot right there. Great pressure by the Laverne defensive line.
That was Giovanni De Loera, who was able to get in there and lay the helmet onto Josh Greaves for the loss. The seniors
38.
for Laverne making big plays on senior day.
Going all out, especially in the final home game in front of the crowd right here. Putting all the heart into it, putting more 130% on this field today.
So despite advancing the ball well into Laverne territory, the Laverne defense is able to rally and stop Occidental to force them to a punt. As Occidental takes a delay of game to drop back a few yards to try and punt and hopefully keep the ball inside the 10-yard line for Laverne. As Nate Sagastumi awaits at his own 10-yard line for the punt. And punter Nate Gray takes a snap. He's going to punt a high one. Nate Sagastumi is going to let it bounce inside the 10 and is going to roll in favor of Occidental to about the 5, to the 4. And that is where Laverne will take over in their first drive of the second half. Here with 8:51 left to go in the third quarter. Laverne leading 10-7. As you're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
World famous ULV band.
As Laverne takes the field now, 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Josh Evans at quarterback. He's going to take the snap, hand it off to Martavius Holiday. Holiday bouncing to his left. It's hard to take down and gets to about, gets a couple of yards on the play to bring up second down.
Laverne's utilizing a big and strong running back in Holiday right there to push on the left side of the field this time for an aggressive 3-yard gain.
Evans going to hand it off to Holiday again. Holiday spins out of a tackle and gets up to the 11.
Out to the 11.
Still short of a first down. That'll bring up 3rd and 3. So now interesting situation here. Does Laverne want to attempt a pass, or do they stick with the run?
3rd and 3 is such an interesting play right here. So because you can be so flexible, but let's see what they go with.
Your playbook can definitely open up as Evans going to quickly pass it to his receiver, who's going to get the first down.
For the first down.
A nice quick dump off by Josh Evans to get the first down.
Britzing, the tight end, just went up the middle, just ran up the middle a little bit, enough to separate right there and get the catch.
And there's an injury timeout. As an Occidental Tiger just dropped down, maybe cramping up due to the heat.
He was standing up and then he just fell back last second. Heat cramps are no joke, especially even though they're temporary, they really hurt. Especially when they're in the legs.
This season, that means a snack bar at Corny's Corner.
7:25 left to go in the third quarter, a 10-7 matchup in favor of Laverne. The wind has died down a little bit. And it looks as if the injured player is all right. That is number 2, Rafi Titizian. It definitely looks like he might be cramping up the way he's walking gingerly off the field. Looks like that right calf.
Occidental's definitely going to miss him. That's their free safety right there. Crucial.
He has sure been involved in a number of different plays in this game thus far. So here we go, 1st and 10, ball on the 18-yard line for Laverne. Lining up 1 wide receiver to the right, 1 to the left. As Evans gonna fake the handoff, hold on to it, leaps over before getting taken down. And there looks like there's gonna be a penalty. It looks like it may be a holding call on Laverne.
Illegal substitution on the defense. Holding, number 24, offense. Those penalties offset, replay, first down.
Kevin Stark, the fullback, who looked like he dragged down an Occidental defender, allowing Josh Evans to leap over that pile to get a couple of yards.
Good athleticism, but dragging down a defensive player is always going to get that call. So not the best, not a great play.
As there's a handoff to Martavius Holiday, and he's going to run to the right, bounces off of a tackler before getting taken down at about the 24-yard line. And another flag on the play.
Number 24, offense.
And Kevin Stark once again hit with another holding call. So now you put yourself even farther back. Kevin Stark was fortunate the last play was an offset penalty. However, this really hurts Laverne, putting you back 1st and 20.
as Stark just got subbed out right now for 2 costly penalties. Luckily, one was offset, but this is dangerous.
As Evans takes a snap, quickly throws it to Grayson Klein, who takes the reception and forced out at about the 20-yard line. Mentioned Kevin Stark has had 3 penalties called on him in this second half alone, receiving a penalty on the initial kickoff and then these 2 back-to-back holding calls.
That's just lack of discipline right there. It's very important too. Penalties carry momentum, but especially if converted by one player.
And a timeout on Laverne as they get a late substitution in. As they use their first timeout of the second half, both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. This first half of the third quarter seemed to just go on forever.
That's what penalties and timeouts do right there. They're especially on Laverne's side, too many penalties, especially on this drive right here, forcing, not only extending the drive and killing their momentum right here. And it's already hot, so emotions are going to fly out even more.
I mentioned both of these teams in the bottom third of SCIAC trying to get a win. Both these teams had a victory earlier in the season. Both played in the exhibition matchup against the Mexican college Cerise. Laverne played Cerise up here at Ortmeyer Stadium, playing against 2 different rosters, whereas Occidental traveled down to Mexicali to face Cerise. As Evans takes a snap and he's going to throw it deep, wide open, receiver caught and brought down just before the 40-yard line. What a great pass by Josh Evans. What great patience to throw it to Nelson.
That's just great blocking right there. As we take a look at the replays, he throws deep and great cut as Nelson catches it.
And the ball was snapped over the head of the quarterback. And a huge loss of yardage for Laverne.
Very fortunate that the Occidental did not recover it. Good job by Sam Taylor right there, diving all his whole life on that ball.
Yes, that was Sam Taylor in on that pass on the previous play. Josh Evans on the sidelines, giving Sam Taylor some reps. He's a taller quarterback, more of a pocket presence. He's going to hand it off to Martavius Holiday, who runs to the left, bounces off a tackle, and he's going to get past midfield, just short of the 45-yard line at about the 48-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and long for Laverne with 4:42 left to go in the third quarter.
Look for Laverne to go a little more into the passing game right here with Taylor behind the snap or in shotgun motion.
Some changes being made as Sam Taylor in the offense look to the sideline to get the call. Sam Taylor looking, probably identifies a mismatch. He's going to stand in the pocket. He's going to throw it right up the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Nate Sagastumi, who I have mentioned is very deadly when he comes out of the slot position. You saw him wide open. Just unfortunately, Sam Taylor was not able to hit him in stride in the middle of the field. An incomplete pass and a 4th down.
Notice right there, his feet were a little bit off balance right there, forcing the ball a little bit too far on the left side for Sagastumi to reach right there and now it's 4th down.
He definitely rushed his mechanics there. Otherwise, a great passer like Sam Taylor would have easily been able to hit his receiver. As Diego Garcia punts it deep, and it gets inside the 20. Looks to be about the 14-yard line, 15-yard line, and that's where Occidental will start in this 10-7 contest with 4:08 left to go in the third quarter. Watching SCIAC football here on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. As the Occidental offense retakes the field, Josh Greaves remains in at quarterback. With 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 1 running back flanking him on his left. Man in motion. A quick dump-off pass, once again to the running back. That was Seth Holston, who once again being utilized as that man in motion, a quick bat pass, allowing him to get a decent amount of yards and a first down.
Occidental going back to the back pass / hot potato look right there, allowing the running back to get through those holes right there easily.
1st and 10. Adams was moved in motion and stopped right in front of Greaves. Now he's being brought in motion again, and Garcia and Adams will take this. He will get the ball and advance, but this time Laverne was waiting for him. A short gain for Occidental.
Occidental went back to that similar play as the last play right there, but Laverne was not fooled right there. So let's look for Occidental to probably mix it up a little bit more, since Laverne is recognizing that bat pass option right there.
Thank you, ladies.
2nd and 10, ball on the 30-yard line, 2:48 left to go. Man in motion. Fakes the handoff this time as Josh Greaves is going to throw it to the right side of the field. Caught and pushed out of bounds. That was Jack D'Avila with the reception. And that gives Occidental a first down.
On the Occidental 40-yard line.
Occidental is able to open up the playbook a little more and extend that drive with that play action right there. Jack D'Avila going towards the sideline, cutting back inside, separating his man and picking up the first down.
Go 1st and 10, ball on the 40. 2:09 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Greaves takes the handoff. He's going to keep it and get dragged down for a short gain. About 4 yards gained on that play. That'll bring up 2nd down with 1:48 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Greaves had to take it himself as Austin Brown jumped up and was able to beat the offensive line, chase him, but Greaves got picked up 4 right there.
Something's got to give for either of these teams. As there's a flag thrown. That'll be a false start on the offense.
False start. Number 56, offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That was on offensive lineman Nathan Broder, the freshman.
Jumped up a little too early right there, pushing them back for 2nd and long.
As Greaves fakes a handoff. Immediate pressure and dragged down for a sack. Austin Brown making some noise.
Brown was able to spin off the blocker right there as he was ready for Greaves. Greaves had nowhere to run and just except into Brown himself, and was able to pick up his 6th sack of the year.
It'll be 3rd and 16 after the sack. Ball on the 34-yard line. Laverne defense has been hunting down these runners all game long. And nothing going on that play, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Great defensive stop by Laverne.
You got to be proud of yourself if you're Coach Stewart right here for Laverne, as they're able to stop the surging offensive game by Occidental, especially amidst these penalties, staying on the field in this heat. Great composure and great execution right there to stop the run and bring up a 4th and long for Occidental.
And you got to figure at some point, something's got to give for both these teams. One of these teams is going to ultimately pull away and seal the deal. But which team's going to make that big play? As at the end of the third quarter, we have ourselves a 3-point game with Laverne leading 10-7 over Occidental. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Back at Ortmeyer Stadium, there's the punt. Nate Sagastumi fields it, dodges a defender, moves off to the left, he gets to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, and Nate Sagastumi will go all the way for a Laverne touchdown. And there's the big play I just mentioned. Someone had to pull away, someone had to make the big play, and it was Nate Sagastumi, who was desperately needed last week against Redlands, fields the punt, and he takes it all the way to get a touchdown for Laverne and to pull away with 14:42 left to go in this game. What a way to start the quarter, Nicolette.
Absolutely. If your offense and your defense are slow on both sides, special teams needs to come in clutch, and Sagastumi was able to utilize the speed to turn the corner and take it to the house.
Nate Sagastumi is a big-time playmaker, and he showed it on that play. Using that speed and that agility of his to work his way around the tacklers and to find open space and just turning on the jets. As we look at the replay, he fields it, missed tackle there, moves to the left, missed tackles, and then just turns it on. And no one was going to stop him. No one was going to catch him. A nice play by Nate Sagastumi.
One of the smaller guys on the team. Football, most receivers are typically like 5'10", 6 feet, but heart over height right here for Sagastumi. Don't let his size, like I mentioned before, fool you. If you lack in one thing, you make it up in other ways, and he does with his agility, versatility, and his speed right there.
As Diego Garcia will prepare to kick it off.
Adams and Henry deep for the Tigers.
With DJ Adams and Josiah Sheffy back to return the kickoff. (17-7), Laverne leading. As there's Diego Garcia, kicks it deep, fielded at the 10. As Adams, he's going to take it, and he dodges the defender before getting to about the 27-yard line and dragged down. And that is where Occidental will take over. Now, Occidental's offense had some luck on that previous drive, but it was some penalties that hurt them, and then ultimately the Laverne defense took over, putting pressure on Josh Greaves and bringing him down on a couple of occasions.
Penalties definitely kill your momentum, especially little mental mistakes on the offensive side. It drags the morale down on the field. Hyping up giving the defense a little more time to analyze and read what's going on offense, and eventually stopping them.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 27-yard line. Man in motion, hands it off to Adams. Adams immediately hit up the middle and brought down. Nothing going on that play. Great defensive stop. That was Preston Carr who plugged up the hole to bring down DJ Adams.
Laverne's defensive line and defense is actually clogging up the middle now a little more because Occidental typically has all game gone with that running back draw and option play. Laverne is not full this time.
It would be a perfect opportunity, Nicolette, as Laverne's defense creeps up to attempt a play-action play and throw it over the top. And you see Josh Greaves there doing just that. Intended for Seth Holston, but threw it over his receiver once again. Good attempt. I like the pass play. I would have liked to see Josh Greaves look for one of his wide receivers, Vice trying to throw it out of the backfield.
Laverne's secondary is also known to give up big plays, especially up the middle all year. So let's see if Greaves actually throws an attempt down the middle, mix up the play, possibly another play action.
Laverne has very aggressive, very talented players in their secondary. However, some of them do tend to be undersized, which is usually an advantage for these bigger wide receivers. But penalties like this can hurt a team's efforts, as we just see an offsides penalty pushing Occidental even further back. Mentioning the undersize of a lot of these secondary players for Laverne. Raymond Morones, number 30, going up against a taller wide receiver in Jack De Avila. That's a great mismatch right there. And that's exactly where they're going to go, but a quick screen play. So Jack De Avila makes the quick grab, but brought down before even getting back.
Occidental tried to take advantage of that man-to-man coverage right there, but Laverne was ready for that screen play and was able to stop him for a 4th and 12.
I'm not one that dislikes screen plays, but I think that they should be used in smaller doses compared to what we've seen in this game. I say take a shot downfield. You're trying to win a game this season as the ball is snapped way above the punter's head, and he's going to get it off. And it's just going to float and get to about midfield. Rolls up to about the 48-yard line. That's where Laverne will take over.
Just a bunch of miscues right here for Occidental, and another costly one of special teams, and you can see the frustration amongst the sideline for Occidental. Great effort by Gray to not give up on that play and kick it and punt it away, avoiding almost getting blocked.
With, as mentioned before, and many times throughout this game, just the smaller roster size for Occidental. A lot of these players must be drained of energy by now. As there's the handoff. And met by a number of white jerseys. Sam Taylor remains in at quarterback for Laverne.
As we mentioned, Occidental's players being understaffed, short of players due to injury and whatnot. Look for Laverne to pound the rock a little more than they have been in this third quarter to tire them out even more, especially in this heat.
And Taylor takes a snap, and he's going to throw it to the right side of the field, caught by Grayson Klein. Grayson Klein finding a little more action in this game. Gets a first down for the University of Laverne with 12 minutes left to go in this game. Laverne currently up 17-7.
Klein isn't the fastest receiver, but he's a great route runner.
And there's a handoff. Quick juke, wrapped up, brought down at about the 32-yard line, 33-yard line. That was Elijah Washington with the carry. Another member of that Laverne backfield. Elijah Washington getting action today with players being injured. There's a handoff. Elijah Washington again pushes out to the right-hand side, breaks a tackle, gets to the 20, almost to the 15-yard line. Pushed out of bounds at about the 15-yard line for another Laverne first down.
Washington is also a freshman going into his first year on this team, so giving him more extra time to prepare for his future campaign.
There's a handoff to Washington again. No, Sam Taylor's going to keep it, rolling to his left, breaking a tackle and getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Laverne. The big-bodied Sam Taylor, difficult to bring down, as this Occidental defense just found out. And Laverne able to march down the field.
Great read and great call by Coach Warsaw right there. Typically, Taylor is not a scramble quarterback, so pocket presence, but he was able to run to that end zone right there, fooling Occidental's defense.
Diego Garcia kicks it right down the middle, and it is good.
Garcia's kick is good. 10:40 left in the ball.
Oh, with 10:40 left to go in the game, the University of Laverne leads over Occidental 24-7. You're watching SCIAC football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Such a great effort by this Laverne offense in this game.
As we look at this replay right here, Taylor just reads the option, just takes off, squeezes through the defenders, and was able to jog in the end zone.
Using that body of his, using that speed of his, he basically challenged Occidental, saying, hey, you're going to have to wrap me up. You're going to have to take me on and bring me down when I'm at full speed. Occidental, unfortunately, not able to bring him down, resulting in another 6 points for Laverne.
It's definitely harder to tackle down a taller player, especially when they're strong in the upper or lower body going full speed.
That was a 15-yard touchdown run for Sam Taylor, adding to the 200 total yards rushing for this Laverne offense. Laverne has 347 total yards offensively. So they've been able to really get things going on, both in the air and on the ground in this game.
And when Laverne does that successfully, mixes up the play calls on both sides, they're successful in that, because you're not only trying to get the defense on their toes, guessing, is he gonna run? Are they gonna call a play? Are they gonna do a little maybe foot flicker or trick play? It opens up the playbook and it gives them that, I wouldn't say relax, but it helps them build that momentum.
So 1st and 10, ball on the 25-yard line. There's a fake handoff as Greaves takes it and gets wrapped up immediately, and they are pointing that the ball is out. A fumble. Looks like Occidental retained. Very fortunate it wasn't a turnover.
Turnover by the Tigers.
So Occidental will get a 2nd and 10 with 10:15 left to go in the game.
Great awareness by Greaves. Almost lost it. He got rocked right there by the Laverne defense, but was able to recover at last second.
As we look, 2nd and 10. Greaves takes a snap, stands in the pocket, throws it immediately to his receiver, caught and brought down for a 1st down. Jack De Avila with the reception. And the 1st down for Occidental. Now you're starting to see the passing game open up for Occidental.
This gives them an opportunity to be a little more flexible with their play calling, but being down 2 scores, they're going to have to be a little more aggressive on this drive right here.
They need to score quickly. Greaves moves a man in motion, takes a snap from the shotgun, waits in the pocket, a lot of pressure, throws it as he's hit over the head of his receiver, intended for Seth Holston. And Greaves slow to get up as he took a shot. It looked like Kerry Sanders in there with the hit.
Once again, just great pressure by the defensive line right there, blitzing Greaves and knocking him hard, forcing him to go out of bounds and sub out. He took a shot.
Yeah, it looks like it was Michael Bloomfield actually that came in and laid the hit on Josh Greaves. As you can see over here on the sideline, Greaves walking over to the medical table.
And a quarterback now.
Leaning over. The medical staff tends to him. And there's a quick pass to Seth Holston. Holston spinning, trying to break through. Brought down by the Laverne defense once again for a loss.
Seth Holston. Loss on the play.
Williamson in at quarterback now.
Occidental's play calling is a little more predictable now, as Laverne was able to recognize that little bat pass right there and knock him to the ground for a loss.
A lot of credit to this Laverne defensive front, who have brought constant pressure on whoever has been quarterback. As Williamson takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Adams, but he's going to hold on to it. Runs up the middle, goes toe-to-toe with the defense. It gets brought down up to a 43, still short of a first down for Occidental. Looking at the sidelines, looks like Josh Greaves is okay. He's got his helmet back on, and he's waiting to run back out onto the field.
It's a great read right there. He was able to go up the middle. A nice little interesting truck right there as he went up against the Laverne defensive player right there to pick up an extra yard or two.
Here we go, 4th and 3. Big play here for both teams. Williamson holds on to it, moves up. Looks like he may have the first down. And he does pick it up, and Occidental stays alive. Williamson gets the first down, and he's going to run to the sidelines, and Josh Greaves is going to retake over at quarterback. Now, Occidental, they need to move fast, Nicolette. They need to try and get something going, try and get some points on the board, possibly before that 5-minute mark.
They're just standing around. They're not going with the no huddle. It's not a great look for Occidental right now.
So he's going to fake the handoff. Greaves going to throw it to the sideline. Caught for another first down for Occidental. That was Jack D'Avila with the reception once again. And the clock will continue to tick. 6:54 left to go in the game. Occidental needs to hurry and get the playoff.
Interestingly, they're just standing there waiting for a call.
Poor time management. Line up. 6:38 left to go in the game. 24-7, Laverne in the lead. It's Greaves. He's going to toss it over the head, intended for Jack D'Avila. Way off to the side, incomplete pass. Great coverage by Raymond Morones.
Laverne's secondary bunching up a little bit more and bringing more pressure on the receivers, able to throw them off for incompletions right there.
2nd and 10, ball on the 37-yard line with 6:28 left to go in this game. Occidental lining up, 3 wide receiver set, 2 running backs. Greaves is going to fake the handoff. No, he's going to give it to DJ Adams, and Adams nowhere going, nothing but green jerseys in front of him, bringing him down for a loss. Andrew Camargo in on the tackle.
Poor read right there by Greaves. Better defense by Laverne, being aware of Adams, cutting off Adams' angle right there, trying to make that left turn, unable to go nowhere as they draw a 3rd and 14. Big play.
Laverne has adjusted well to DJ Adams. They know that when he's in motion, they're going to give him the ball, as you see in the replay. But just the pursuit. As Greaves going to take the snap and roll to his right, and he's going to throw it high. And Jack D'Avila is going to make the reception. A nice adjustment on the ball. He practically laid down and let the ball come to him for a first down to keep Occidental alive with 5:37 left to go in the game.
That was up against Aguilar Jr., the freshman. Great coverage, actually great coverage right there by the freshman right there. Just better offense, and was able to last second twist his body around and let the ball come to him and fall in his arms.
Jack D'Avila with 7 receptions for 90 yards. He has been a big focal point for this Occidental offense. Gabriel Ramos runs up the middle, gets stopped, but there's a flag on the play. With 5:04 left to go in the game, Occidental needs to start taking shots at the end zone.
First down.
And a big break for Occidental there as Eric Wilson, the linebacker for Laverne, gets called for the face mask. And that is going to move Occidental up to the 10-yard line. So now we have 1st and goal with 5 minutes left. Occidental needs to take a shot in the end zone, Nicolette. They need to put some points on the board now to bring it in within 1 score.
I wouldn't be shocked that they go with the run right here, but with only having 2 timeouts, they need to take shots, like as we mentioned before.
Here's the handoff. Greaves is going to hold on to it and get stopped immediately as he tries to get into that second level. And brought down. Giovanni De Loera once again making another big play on senior day.
Occidental's players have their hands at their hips, and that's a sign of fatigue right there. You can see how gassed out they are right here. Laverne's all over them, tiring them out. Occidental is going to have to go for their passing game right now with coming up to 4 minutes left of this game.
Greaves takes a snap, looking to his left, throws it high. It's caught. But brought down at the 1. Isaac Cordova with the reception. And that is a touchdown for Occidental.
It's a good read by Greaves right there, and great connection to his receiver right there. Great separation from the cornerback. Easy score right there.
There's the field goal attempt. It is good, bringing Occidental within 10. 2-score game. 3:55 left in the game. The score is Laverne 24, Occidental 14. You're watching SCIAC football and here on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television. Beautiful weather. The wind's starting to pick up here.
We'll take a look at the replay real quick. Greaves saw his receiver and was able to cut back inside of the cornerback for the score.
As we mentioned, the weather, sun's out, not a cloud in the sky, the wind's picking up. Beautiful weather not only for football, but it's going to be beautiful weather for Game 4 of the World Series. First pitch at 5:09.
Hopefully Dodger fans, including yourself, got some good sleep, and hopefully there's no other 7-hour games.
Last night being the longest World Series game in history, not only by length of time, but by innings. I've been making the argument that the Dodgers should have technically won Game 3 and 4 since they technically played 2 games last night.
I'm just sitting here enjoying baseball as an Angels fan.
There's an onside kick. Up over the head, it is caught, returned by Occidental. Occidental is going to regain possession. And Nicolette, if Occidental scores immediately, this is going to become a very interesting final 3 minutes.
That's the beauty of football right there. Anything can happen within under 4 minutes right there. The onside kick, excuse me. Onside kicks are usually very calm and risky, but it's smart, and it just happened to take that last-minute bounce at the tip of the football, going over the player Laverne's head and recovering it.
Very unpredictable, but that was such a beautiful bounce. Here we go, 1st and 10 for Occidental. Greaves going to take it, throws it off to DJ Adams. DJ Adams going to run and advance to about the 46-yard line. The clock is ticking, 3:42 left to go in the game. Laverne up 24-14. Can they hold on to the lead? Can Occidental score quickly? We're about to find out.
The way they're setting up, wasting too much clock time, even though they do have 2 timeouts, it's important to push the ball.
Greaves takes a snap, rolls to his right, nothing going as he runs into Connor Johnson. Laverne thought the ball was out, but the refs blew it dead. That's a loss on the play. Not sure if that was the right play call in this situation.
Fortunately, in D3 football, there's no instant replay other than right here. So I just have to go with the refs call. I thought he was down. I thought he was not down, but live and learn.
And Occidental is going to use their second charge timeout in this game with 1 remaining. With 3:01 left on the clock, Laverne up 24-14. Laverne seeking their second win of the season. Occidental seeking their first win of the season.
As Laverne goes into the huddle right there, they're staying hydrated in this heat. It's important for them to be disciplined and be ready for what Occidental has in their pockets, in their books, in their playbook.
Laverne defense retakes the field, as does Occidental. Here we go for the final act of this game, the final 3 minutes. Who's going to come out on top?
3 minutes left.
3rd and 7, ball on the 47-yard line. Greaves flanked on both sides by a running back. He's going to take the snap. Plenty of time. Steps in the pocket, throws it high. Intercepted. What a defensive read. Raymond Morones with the interception. It looked like that ball was more intended for him than for Jack de Avila.
Absolutely right there, and Greaves just gets nailed by pressure. He gets hit really hard as I take a look at the replay, and he just tosses it up, and Morones was able to dive for it and catch that ball that intercepted.
Credit that Laverne defense, that defensive front that has caused havoc throughout this entire game.
Jonathan June, running back.
Jonathan June's going to take the handoff. And there's going to be a flag on the play for what looked like a face mask on Occidental, but not after Jonathan June gains a decent amount of yards there. And that's going to be a first down for Laverne, no matter how many ways you look at it.
Personal
Wakefield
face mask, number 44, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That was Billy Grossman, the junior linebacker, credited with the face mask.
See Laverne, expect Laverne to run the ball more and chew some clock, especially Occidental only has 1 timeout left. So if you're Laverne, it's important to protect the ball at all costs. You don't want to give Occidental another opportunity for their offense to come back and try to score.
Well, the benefit for Laverne right now is they have the lead, they have the ball, and they have the momentum here. As there's the handoff to Jonathan June again, who gets wrapped up immediately at the line for a short gain. But Laverne's not looking for nothing more than to advance the ball for a first down and continue to kill this clock, as we are now approaching the 2-minute mark in this contest. Laverne continues to lead 24-14.
They're taking their time right here to set up for the next play, chewing out the clock.
12 seconds left on the play clock. Laverne's going to let that wind all the way down. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Jonathan June. No, he's going to hold on to it and advance to the right. He's going to keep pushing and slide. That is Sam Taylor advancing on the keeper. As the clock continues to run, and Occidental is going to call their final timeout to stop the clock.
Timeout, Occidental. That is their final timeout of the game.
A minute 20 left to go in this game. The score 24-14. Laverne in the lead.
1, 2, 3.
That's a good run by Taylor right there. Even though there's 1 minute and 23, actually. Minute and 20 left in this game. Still got some time. Probably just going to take a knee, a couple knees or 2.
Well, this next play, Nicolette, if Laverne can advance the ball 3 yards for a first down, that's game. They're going to have the ball. Occidental can't stop the clock, and all they have to do is just get in the victory formation, take a knee, and welcome their second win of the season.
So this 3rd down conversion is key, and if they get it, whoever converts it, they plan that funeral for Occidental, at least in this game, and they fit in the coffin.
This being Laverne's final home game of the regular season. Their next 2 games are next Saturday at Cal Lutheran, followed by a game at Chapman. 2 big games, 2 tough teams coming up for Laverne. As here we go. There's a snap and then the handoff. No. He's going to hold on to it. Spin move for Sam Taylor, and he is going to get enough for the first down. And that looks like that'll do it.
It's a good spin move right there to get that extra yard and pick up the first down, and looks like that will end the game.
The athleticism of Sam Taylor kept the play alive. That spin move allowed him to get that extra yard for the first down, to give him 1st and 10, ball on the 45-yard line. And all they have to do is take a knee here and 1 more knee following that, and that'll do it. 45 seconds left. There's a snap. There's the handoff. Jonathan June's going to run up, dodges a runner, gets to the 40-yard line before being brought down. A nice piece of running. A nice piece of running by Jonathan June. And I believe that may do it.
Just a great play call and just a great run up the middle and great blocking for June to take advantage and squeeze in through that lane to essentially end this game right there.
15, 14, 13, 12 on the clock. And that looks like it'll do it here at Ortmeyer Stadium as the clock is going to finish winding down to 0. And that'll do it. And Laverne can celebrate a victory, their 2nd victory of the game, of the season. 2nd SCIAC victory. Occidental, unfortunately, continues to look for their 1st win of the season.
Just great overall effort by Laverne on offense, defense, and also including special teams, the lost art. That touchdown, that punt return by Sagastumi nailed the coffin hit the coffin right there for Laverne.
Looking at the stats, Laverne, 347 total yards. 200 rush yards, 147 through the air. Josh Evans, 10 of 17 for 94 yards. Sam Taylor, 2 of 3, 53 yards. Both of them came out and did their part, did enough to be able to give Laverne this big win. On the ground, Martavius Holiday, 6 for 81. Josh Evans, 5 for 78. Elijah Washington, 3 of 25. All these runners able to do what they can to keep the ball moving for Laverne. As we look at Occidental, Jake Williamson, 6 of 7 for 72 yards, and Josh Greaves, 7 of 12 for 71 yards. They were able to complete the pass and move the ball downfield. They just couldn't make that big play because it was that Laverne defense led by the seniors, De Loera, to ensure a victory for Laverne.
If you play well in all 3 aspects of the game, offense, defense, as I mentioned before, offensive defense plus special teams equals not guaranteed a victory, but it sets you up for it, and they took advantage of Occidental's small roster right here to get their 2nd win on senior day as well.
As mentioned, this is Laverne's final home game of the season. This was senior day. The seniors came up and played big. But can Laverne carry this momentum into the next 2 weeks of the season as they play Cal Lutheran and Chapman, both on the road over the next 2 weeks?
Both 2 very good teams in the higher rankings of SCIAC play, so let's see if they could conclude this season on a positive note.
But that'll do it for us here at Ortmeyer Stadium. On behalf of Nicolette Rojo, my name is Christopher Livingston. Thank you for watching SCIAC Football on LVTV3, Laverne Community Television.